What I'm doing with Alicia today is creating flawless skin for you. And I'm showing you on dark skin, and you wonder what's the difference, doing flawless skin on dark skin. There's a couple of different techniques that I'm going to use that are really specific to dark skin. But first, we're going to do concealer, which everybody does. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the Invisible Touch concealer and a concealer brush, fill the brush with the concealer, and first really look and see where you have imperfections and darkness. On dark skin, you're going to see more shadowing. You might see a little hyperpigmentation, and what that means is where you see a little shadow around the mouth. You might see it under your eyes. It's an absence of color. So you might see an absence of color that looks dark on the face, and that would be hyperpigmentation. So that's what you want to conceal. Long strokes, and you're taking that concealer right under the eyes. And I'm using the Invisible Touch in Deep. And you definitely want this to brighten the under eye area. And see, right here is a technique I'm going to show you. Right in here, she has a little bit of puffiness. I'm going to use my finger and press a little bit more, so you're just giving a little bit more of an opaque coverage in that area. And you just press it in really gently under the eyes. And then where she doesn't need a lot of coverage, we're using the brush just to smooth, long, smooth strokes. And then the warmth of your finger really blends the concealer into the skin. Make sure that you're using your concealer in the inner corner of your eye. You don't really want to put it on your eyelid because it'll interfere with your eyeshadow when you put it on. But you can tell that there's a difference between both eyes. So let's start with the other eye, beginning with filling your brush with concealer and taking that concealer right in the inner corner of your eye. Long, smooth strokes. It's very important. What's good about this brush, it can get right underneath those lashes, all the way up to the lash line, without really irritating your eye, right?
Right.
So it's an easy way of doing it, and also doesn't irritate, which is nice. So again, then I'm pressing the product to warm it into the skin. And then we see there's an area where we want it to add a little bit more product, right where she has a little bit of puffiness. There we go. So just gently press the product into the skin. Okay? So you want to brighten underneath the eyes, not lighten underneath the eyes. And especially on dark skin, you want to really be careful with that. Okay. So we're going to take that concealer again, and I'm going to use my pinky finger and just dab it around the lips. Okay? Just to even out that area. And it's really all about spot covering. You really just want to look at your face in a different way and be honest with yourself where you have the imperfections and deal with them gently but quickly, instead of just covering your whole entire face. Her skin looks really good, but we're going to top it off and just really smooth it all out with See Through You, which is a tinted moisturizer. I love this brush, foundation brush. And you can just put it on the back of your hand and fill your brush, and then start just by putting it all over the skin. Where you've already covered, you just want to press it over that area. And once you've gotten the See Through You on your skin, you just press it in with your fingers just to warm it up into the skin so it really looks like your skin. And make sure you're looking at your jawline, you're lifting up, looking at the sides of your face, your forehead, that everything looks even. And now that we're even, you look at the skin and you see a lot of shine. And this is another thing that I hear all the time as a professional makeup artist. And I know you were telling me earlier, Alicia, that you had some concerns with
the shiny skin. Yes, I like glowy skin, but I don't want it shiny.
Right. Or just flat out oily. You don't
Yes.
want that. You really don't want that. And on dark skin, there's a fine line between this glow and then just really being shiny and oily. So I'm going to use the Magnificent Press Powder on Alicia's skin, and I'm using the blending brush. This is where you can really, or you could use the powder puff, either way. But the blending brush is great. I'm tapping it off because of the way it's very fluffy, but you can really address the areas around the nose and just press it in. And you can see what's happening to the skin, one side versus the other, as we press this powder into the skin. It's perfect for matting out the shine. We're gonna leave the shine on her cheeks, but we're gonna take it out on the height of the cheek and around the eyes. Now you might find that you need two powders, one for the skin when you have darker skin and one for underneath the eyes. The darker one for the face, and then a little bit, one shade lighter for underneath the eyes, just to add a little bit more brightness to it. Because on dark skin, most of the time, the forehead, the sides of the face, and the chin are a lot darker than the center of the face and under the eyes. So you want to work with the reality of how the skin looks and how my skin looks. So I know this just by doing my face every day as well. Okay, so we've taken down the shine. She still has a glow. And I'm just going to tap this off, and I'm going to use a color just one shade lighter underneath her eyes. Make sure that you're tapping out so you don't have any creasing before you set it with powder. And then just press that powder underneath the eyes. Don't move it yet, because if you're moving it like so, it's not set yet. And you can still see a beautiful glow on the skin. So that's the difference between having a shiny, oily complexion and really getting a flawless, beautiful, natural complexion. Just to get this radiant, beautiful, natural skin.